All right, we are live, and feel free to get started, Roxy. The floor is yours, and I'll be working in the background to get Facebook. All right, we are live, and feel free to get started.
All right. Hello, and welcome to Regeneration Rising. This is our second session of the day of our planetary salons, of our fifth day of Regeneration Rising. Thank you for joining this global confluence for creators of regenerative futures. This is our inaugural celebration of the Regenaissance, a decade-long global movement that is bringing together revolutionary creators, systems thinkers, and organizations to imagine, collaborate, and co-create a world that works for 100% of life. Thank you for mobilizing together for this historical moment for planetary regeneration, the birth of Regenera, a story universe created by the Design Science Studio to scaffold thousands of projects and ideas throughout the decade ahead for a future that is regenerative, equitable, and just. The studio is an educational incubator for art that empowers global creators to imagine a regenerative future. As a part of the story universe of Regenera, we are also launching 144 revolutionary projects, each helping co-create and propel the transition to the world we imagine. Regenera is a floating city designed to be the home and heart of the Regenaissance, a cultural and social movement that seeks to comprehensively transform the way in which we think and live in society, redefining our relationship with each other and the planet. It appears on Earth in 2021 to show us what's possible within this decade. In our journey to restore ecosystems and bring about the principles of the design science decade, we've woven this city with the principles of our collective mission. The arrival of this city is celebrated with this week-long virtual summit called Regeneration Rising. And within it, the celebrations, talks, workshops, art, and surprises each showcase the important, powerful, and collaborative ways design, science, and story collide. Join us in this revolution, in this cultural exploration at the intersection of art and science, as we harness the potential to shift and propel the next 100 years of our evolutionary process. From weaponry to livingry, from extraction to regeneration, from me to we. We are called to be co-conspirers of this revolution. My name is Roxy Shahadei, and I am the director and architect of the Design Science Studio. I am coming to you live from unceded Ohlone land, and I am very grateful to have the place and time and space that I am in where I recognize my privilege and am taking it into my hands to be a vehicle for change through collaboration, cooperation. And here we are. I'm going to pass the mic over to Jurgis, who's going to welcome us into what we like to do at the beginning of our sessions in the Design Science Studio, which is have a little bit of wiggling. Jurgis?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure for me to be here with you today. I am the Design Studio's regenerative recreacionista, here to bring play through music and in other forms. Usually we would start the day with stretching, but I would like to get to dancing. Because where I am, it is evening, and when the sun goes down, I like to dance. Now, we have Roxy with us, which has Latin American blood. I have Latin American blood too. But we believe that you don't need blood to enjoy Latin American music. What you need is a good example. So what I would like to invite you all to do today is to try and dance to this music. And I can give you the key today. Yes, Elise is dancing, Karen is moving, Roxy is moving too, and Christina as well. If you are on the call, I would like to invite you to turn on your cameras because it will make downloading the dance steps easier. If you see what's happening, yeah, and we see what you're up to as well. All right. So come a little bit closer. I'm gonna give you the secret to dancing Latin American music. This is a mix of salsa and cumbia. Yeah, a little bit closer. You need to sing to yourself. Tiki-ta, 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 tiki-ta. You need to sing. Ta tiki-ta, 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 tiki-ta. Cause it's that tiki that gives you the move. Tiki-ta, 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 tiki-ta. Yes, tiki-ta, tiki-ta. That's the salsa thing right there. Ta tiki-ta, 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 tiki-ta. Yeah. Now, if you want to add the cumbia, you need to clap like you go. Ta tiki-ta, 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 tiki. There. That's the groove right there. Okay. This is the way it sounds. Yes. Yes. Tiki-ta, tiki. Yeah. Esa vaina está buena. Hey. Mira, mira, mira la marea. Tierra abraza. Pulsa sobre la orilla y cubre con su manta. Escucha ese silencio, como ensordece. Palpa la luz del alba, alfileres que esclarecen. Mira, patinca, papa, patinca, papa, patinca, papa, patinca, papatinca, papa, pati, papa, patinca. Whoa, papa, patinca. Hey, papa, patinca. Oh, papa, patinca. Hey, papa, patinca. Nice. Ganga, you know that the movement isn't in your neck, it's in your hips, por Dios. All right. Ta tiki-ta, 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 tiki-ta. Hey, siente su silueta, cómo se menea, fértil vibración que húmeda procrea. Pilla, pilla, pilla como tú vas pa'lante, arrasando monte, machete tajante. Mira, patinca, papa, patinca, papa, patinca, papa, pati. Hey, papatinca, papa, patinca, papa, patinca, papa, patinca, papatinca, papa, patinca, papa, patinca, papa, patinca, papatinca, papa, pati, papa, 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 patinca. Oh, papa, patinca. Papa, patinca. Oh, papa, patinca. Papa, patinca. You know, if I had to hand out prizes for dancing, definitely Amanda would be in the top 3. But I think Elise Sibley, with her children and her whole family moving, would have to win. Look at that. With 2 children on their hips, they're swinging it. Yeah. Papa patinka. Can you sing the ka? Papa patinka. Yeah. Papa patinka. Oh. Papa patinka. Gonna break it down, gonna go. Ta tiki 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 ta ta tiki ta tiki ta hips ta tiki 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 ta. Oh, papa patinka. Oh, papa patinka. Eh, papa papatinka. Beautiful. Look, you're not only warmed up, but there's also so much sensuality in the room, in the air. It is lovely. It is lovely. Now, to close this space, I would like to hear the ka from you. And just to give you a little bit backstory on the song, I'm Lithuanian Colombian. So I have Lithuanian roots, but I have Colombian roots as well. And I'm the kind of person who believes that if you embrace your roots full-heartedly, they do not divide. I never say I'm half Colombian. I never say I'm half Lithuanian. I'm both, if I embrace the cultures full-heartedly. And so this song is a mixture of Lithuanian and Latin American, beautifully in one. And you've got the Latin American groove right now, you got it down. But I would like to teach you the word patinka. Yes. Patinka. Patinka.
Yarn.
Patinka. Yes. Patinka. Patinka means I love it, I like it, it's nice. In one of the oldest languages in history, exactly means you like it. Let me hear you. Patinka.
Patinka.
Ah, we fill the space with patinka. Patinka.
Patinka.
Patinka.
Patinka. Patinka.
Papa patinka.
The music hour.
But like expressively.
How many people are on this call?
Lovely. Beautiful. Roxy, back to you, my dear.
And over to Amanda.
Oh, hello everyone. I'm Amanda Joy Ravenhill. I'm so excited to be here today. I love regeneration, which is the theme of today. I'm honored to be the executive director at Buckminster Fuller Institute, and I'm the cartographer of complexity of the Design Science Studio. I've been having so much fun this week getting to know all of you and extending our family all over the world. So I get to introduce our first speaker for today. She is from Kiss the Ground. If people haven't seen the Kiss the Ground movie yet, please do check it out. Available on Netflix and other streaming platforms. Karen Rodriguez is a Mayan woman, and she is excited about regeneration and a healthy humanity through helping people be in right relationship with food, with regenerating soils, with restoring systems, with kissing the ground. Thank you, Karen, for joining us. It's an honor to have you here.
For having me. Thank you so much for everybody being here. I'm just gonna take you through a little journey of regeneration. I'm gonna share my experience and hope that everyone is left empowered by what we can do as beings on this planet together. So I was diagnosed with leukemia when I was 2 years old, and I spent the first 10 years of my life in the hospital. And so tending to life is something that came front and center right away in my life. But you only gather the information you have from your family or whatever it is that you have in your environment in order to proceed forward. At the time, my mom was 23 years old, and her experience with food and nourishment was just knowing that people needed to eat 3 times a day. And at the time, Taco Bell was $1. And so I ate a lot of fast food. And when I was in the hospital, McDonald's was on the first floor of the hospital. So we could go down the path of why the doctors and nurses didn't complete the connection for us, but it seems like a topic for another time. So in the conversation, as I kept growing and learning and understanding that I needed to take care of my life in order to survive, that sort of became the narrative, is tending to life as survival. And I didn't understand it as anything more than that for many, many years. Cut to adulthood. I started to work, and I always gravitated towards food because I love connecting with food. I love feeding people. I love community that comes from being with food. And so I started to follow the thread of what does it take to get you a plate of food? And so at a restaurant, it takes around 13 people to get you a plate of food. And I really got into the reverence and honoring of that. And I love to tell the story of where a tomato came from, or a cantaloupe, or a cucumber. And I had a lot of fun learning about that. It wasn't until I was almost 30 years old that I found the connection that went all the way to soil. And I found that connection to be the biggest teacher of my life. And it's how I got into the work that I do with Kiss the Ground. And so when we started Kiss the Ground, what we found and learned was, if we treat soil the way it's naturally meant to be treated, then it's just a magical world of possibilities. Some of those possibilities include healthier food. Some of those possibilities include restored water systems. Some of those possibilities include drawing down carbon into the atmosphere. And so we just not only were blown away by being in food and working with food and not understanding how the system works,